Do I start back with hi, everybody?
Sure.
Hi, everybody. We are so excited to talk to you guys about our trip to Yosemite National Park.
This is video.
I know.
I ain't gonna listen anyways.
All right, baby. Look, Snaky Bay. So we stayed on a mountain, 40 miles, maybe?
It was 40 miles, but it took an hour and a half to get into the valley in Yosemite, which is where everything we were doing was.
Yeah, I think that was the thing that surprised me a lot. I knew that we were like 40 miles from the entrance to the park, but I thought like once you got in, you'd be ready to like go adventuring, but that is not the case. So the first thing that I would say that surprised me about Yosemite was once you get in there, it takes a minute to get to anything. Yeah. Or is the tunnel right away?
No, the tunnel is right before you get to everything.
Ah,
to like
so
I think it's the valley.
So like we're driving on this mountain. We stayed in a really cool
Cabin.
Yeah, Airbnb. It was really cool. And we drove in and we got up early. So like we did that. As you'll see, there's still a bunch of people though, even though we got there early because it took us forever to kind of get to our hike. But we went through the tunnel that if you guys have watched any cool videos, we've watched a ton of awesome videos before we went. And you go through the tunnel and you come to the like...
It's called Tunnel View, actually.
That makes
sense.
Yes, it's very apropos.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's gorgeous. It's so beautiful. I was
beautiful.
looking so forward to this park, and it did not disappoint.
The drive itself is just super beautiful. Everywhere you look is a waterfall or a beautiful mountain.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. We went in April, kind of like the second week of April. I think the 10th, maybe 8th, something like that. So really, we were rolling the dice a little bit on if it was going to snow or not. But we knew that the snow should be melting, so the waterfall should be rushing. And
yeah, it's supposed to be the best time of the year for the waterfalls.
yeah, a lot of water because everything's melting. So what was our plan the first day?
Our first day was to hike Vernal and Nevada Falls via the Mist Trail and go back down John Muir Trail.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
That's what we did. Check it out.
Vernal Falls, Nevada Fall, or John Muir Fall.
That's not a fall, it's just a trail.
Well, Nevada Falls might be a bit of a gamble.
What?
Vegas. That's what she said.
No.
No.
So the parking lots were full, and we had to park
almost a mile.
Yeah, almost a mile from the trailhead. So we walked in super excited. It was really crazy because like we were wearing layers of clothes and gloves. It was actually kind of chilly in the morning.
Yeah, it was.
So whenever you hear people talk about layers, gotta have them.
Yes, definitely.
Onion up.
Well, yeah, because you want to take them off and put them back on several times throughout the hike. Which we did several times.
So we walk in a mile to get to the trailhead, and the thing that was very surprising about the beginning of this trail, you just start like going straight up, like you're
very, very not steep incline, but it is. I mean, you're huffing it.
You're going up, man, and one of the things that was funny to us was like, whew, maybe we should take a short break, and there's these little kids like running past us. I'm like, dang.
Yeah. On all trails considered a hard hike, and I would agree with that strongly because it's just like 2,200 feet of elevation and like 8 miles. So yes, I would prepare for that.
And I think a lot of people split it into two. So this is the part that I'll mess up and really make my beautiful wife laugh a lot. But I think so. Is it Vernal first?
Well, that's what I had it understood, and then you confused me so much. Now I don't even know it's right.
Yeah, so there's like one waterfall, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people hike up to that first waterfall, they turn around, and then they go back down.
Yeah, and that's why, like, that part is like the mist trail part of like how it got its name was because you get misted so much from that first waterfall.
Yeah, don't miss it.
Oh my gosh. And then I think a lot of people go back down after that, but we went all the way up.
Yes, so that was one of the things that I was really excited that Ashley said that she was cool to do, is knowing that it was going to be a hard hike. We had initially planned just to go there and back, but I really wanted to go to the top of the whole thing. And then I thought we could, slide back down the John Muir side, and that would be awesome. So different views on the other side. And she was like, yes. I'm like, rock on, here we go. And then we go straight up, and it was a lot.
It was I had to take some breaks. But along the way, there was lots of places to stop and take those breaks and like just take it in, as everything all around you was beautiful.
Yeah, that's well said, everything. I mean, anytime you would look off to your right or to your left, it was just, and the further up you got, it was just amazing how you could like turn around and then just see way far off, like just amazing. I mean, we're, are we Midwest? What would they say that we are?
I think we're considered Midwest in Ohio.
Yeah, so like as far as, you don't see this every day.
You don't. There's lots of rushing water too, which I just always think is really cool to look at. And then we, on the mist trail, on that first waterfall, we saw a beautiful rainbow.
Yep.
It's perfect.
Then we got to the other side of it. We saw some awesome birds. We saw a bobcat, which was crazy.
We did, yeah. That was super cool and a little bit scary, just because, for the longest time, I couldn't figure out what people were looking at. A little kid told me and like helped me find it, because it like really camouflaged, but it was like hunting a squirrel. And then after waiting maybe like 10 minutes, sitting there watching it, it like took off after the squirrel and it missed the squirrel, but then it like kind of turned and started walking towards the crowd of people watching it. But then it, went off on its own.
So I think if I am bigger than a creature, I can take it often, which is not true.
I don't feel that way.
I'm only saying that for my wife. But when the bobcat started like coming at, it's the size of a dog, maybe, I guess.
A big dog, but I mean,
it started coming at me, and I wasn't trying to test.
It could do some damage,
theory. No.
so yeah. I mean,
it would have eaten us all. So, yeah. But as we went along, I mean, it was just view after view after view, waterfalls, rushing rivers,
streams,
yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trees, and just soaring peaks.
Mm-hmm.
It was fantastic.
Yes.
And there was this one really cool spot. I have no idea where this was at on the trail, but like we were like on the other. I was able to climb over some stuff and kind of get near a waterfall. Mm-hmm. Nothing super dangerous, of course, because you do not want to go into these things. You always want to be super careful.
Yeah, because they have like barriers, and I know a couple people had died crawling over that one. And while we were there, a guy jumped over it and like hung on to the rail and like leaned back to take a picture.
Yeah, this dude was goofy though, man. Like he was out running around, just being real loud and obnoxious. Too. Yeah,
Don't
like
be one of those.
Another thing that was really interesting. Is tell the world how tall you are, Lovey.
I am 5 foot tall.
Yeah.
He is 6 feet tall.
I am.
His steps are much larger than mine.
They are. And there was a particular part where they were kind of like rock steps, I would say. And she kind of had to climb them rather than like
they were
step.
Very
It's almost like
large.
she had to,
Yeah, I was basically climbing them because like, yeah, it was like 2 of my normal steps, and that was a struggle.
Lots of breaks, lots of water. I think probably by that point I was down to a t-shirt. So when you get to the top of the second one, then I guess was there 2, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when you get to the top of the second one, you can go look like out over like the whole valley thing.
Yeah, and you can kind of spread out and get away from all the crowds.
Because it is crowded. I think that is definitely something that all of the videos and research that we saw got right. But also in April, supposedly it is not nearly as crowded as the May, June, July, and August.
Yep.
So
and actually the day after we were there, they got like blasted with snow.
They did. Yeah, so
it can change pretty wildly from day to day even.
It can. And another thing for us, one of the reasons why I wanted to do such an extended long hike is we had planned for 2 days in the park. And I thought that this would be a way that we could kind of knock out 3 large things. Because at the very top of it, you're at the base of, what's the crazy rock that people climb?
Oh, the dome is the
Half Dome.
Half Dome.
Yeah, so we got to the bottom of that. And
but
then
the cables were down that time of year, so even if we wanted to, which at that point I didn't.
Yeah.
You can't even do that time of year.
Right. And so when you get to the top, you can kind of go out and see the huge view, and you have the big drop-offs, and you're at the top of one waterfall, and you can look down at the other waterfall. But then when you walk back, there's like all kinds of awesome stuff that's up there, like a rushing creek that leads in, or rushing river rather, that leads into the waterfall, and just amazing scenery. And like Lovey said, you spread out. There's tons of people eating lunches, a lot of people napping.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of sleepy people.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard, so people were just kind of passed out all over the rocks. Because I get that, yeah.
And so then we headed to the John Muir Trail.
Yeah, headed back down that way. And there was still a lot, because we went up 2,200 feet of elevation, so there still was some snow at the top. And the John Muir Trail, a lot of it was like melting over the cliff, so it was like raining, ice cold rain. And then there was like these giant piles of snow that we had to be careful around, because like it's like a drop off right there, but you had to kind of climb around these giant piles of snow.
Yeah, there was like a small wall thingy, and so it was awesome. Like you're right up against a sheer mountain face, and then there was like the snow melting down off of it. It just, I mean, I just had such a blast. It was so cool, so lucky to have went. And just awesome. I mean, there's so much awesome stuff out there, you know. I never seen anything like it. So, I mean, it was just incredible, you know. Like, you go from bundled up to not bundled up to raincoat to all, you know what I mean? And then snow. It was just really cool. And when you crisscross applesauce, when you get across and you look back, that was really neat. So you see the waterfall on the other side. So you see the waterfalls from a different angle. And the whole time you're going, like, to start the John Muir Trail portion to kind of hook back down, you're looking out over this valley. I mean, it's
all the mountains, and
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Max.
8 hours.
Yeah, we were on that thing for 8 hours, and it was probably I would say it's probably the hardest like you had really went at anything for a long time, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Because that elevation is like, I mean, my legs burned for at least 2 days. Like, my calves were on fire. And like going back down, it was so hard on my toes. Like, it was just constantly shoving my toes into the bottom of my shoes.
Yeah, I stay pretty active, so I wasn't that part didn't bother me too much as far as like the hiking portion of it, but of the way back down, the toes part, that was a unique thing that I had never experienced before. So it was hard on the toes of all things. So crazy.
There was lots of switchbacks on the way down.
Oh yeah, and those were all real beautiful too, real cool.
So we're doing how it started. How's it going? What do you think?
Started out good.
Yeah.
I'm in a lot of pain in a lot of different areas.
8.71 miles later.
And 2,200 feet of elevation.
7 hours and 11 minutes and 5 seconds. But look. Do you still love me?
Ask me after I eat.
That's the realist.